Even now, it makes me goosebumps, but I want to tell you a scary dream. This is a story about the house where you live, long ago. My sister and I lived independently due to commuting to work and school. The house was a 5-story building, and the 5th floor was remodeled with full glass. The house is made of glass on all sides. I liked it because the room and living room were open and it was not stuffy. Especially when it rains or snows. It was nice to be able to see the scene as it was. As for the furniture, I placed only one bed because I was uncomfortable with the bed. After moving to this house for the first time, there were no special problems. However, sometimes the TV turns on automatically in the middle of the night. I used to wake up from the sound of the TV screen freeze. Also, the groundwater of the building rises and the basement becomes a sea of water. I often saw a business owner taking out and drying things in the basement. Then one day, my sister's friend came to play, and that night, I slept in the bed next to the window. My sister friend, who woke up in the morning, did not seem to have a good night's sleep. And he said he had a nightmare. She said she saw a woman in her dream, was like a ghost, and was too scared. Since then, nothing special has happened in the house. The TV continued to turn on alone in the middle of the night. I didn't care much. Then one day, my friend came to play and slept in bed that night, next to the window. Woke up in the morning. My friend said he had a nightmare. I saw a woman in my dream, was like a ghost, and was scared. I said the same thing as my sister's friend. Until then, I didn't think it was particularly strange. And after a while, after my sister went abroad for a year, she was alone in the house. And it was a situation where I was taking care of my friend's little puppy for a while and raising it. My friend always said that he was worried because the young dog had never torn. The puppy was not torn while I was raising it. Living alone in a house without an older sister. I thought it was a little scary to turn on the TV in the middle of the night. As a result, I was awake until dawn, and then I went to sleep when the sun rose. Usually, I don't like beds, and I slept on the floor often. That day, I was tired, so I fell asleep in the bed at dawn. And I had a nightmare. It was like a very noisy place around. It's like a market. In a crowded market, the sound of people talking loudly. The sound of drumming, break something. The sound of tapping something. It felt like my hearing became extremely sensitive than what I could see. But I heard the voices of about 3 women clearly. Women laughed loudly. It seemed to me that I was having fun and chatting. And, watching me scared there was a pleasant chattering sound. At the same time as I woke up, goosebumps grew from my head to my toes. The cold sweat was flowing. Then I remembered the dream that my sister and my friend told me that a woman was coming out. Come to think of it, I have a habit of not sleeping well in bed. That day, I slept in that bed. After having a scary dream, I hated being in the house. Then one late night, I was sitting on the bed in the house where the dog was and quietly reading a book. By the way, it is the first time the puppy tears it. I've never torn, because it's strange that a puppy tears. I was surprised and gleefully looked at the puppy and called the puppy. However, the puppy does not respond at all when called. I was looking at one place with concentration. The puppy tore once, twice, and then continued to lose. And, as if following something, he kept barking. I looked at it for a moment, and in an instant, goosebumps came across my body. And I was so scared that I couldn't even wear shoes. He went down the stairs on the 5th floor without hesitation. And I called my friend from outside about this situation. I couldn't even dial my phone number because I was so busy. I told my friend that I couldn't get into the house because I was scared. After a while, a friend came to me and went back to the house with him. The puppy sat quietly on the floor alone, as if nothing had happened. When I called them, they responded well, and they came closer and showed Igo. After these events, I was scared, so I didn't go to the house anymore until my sister came from abroad. I stayed at my parents' house. And by the time my sister returns from abroad, the house went to an auction. At that time, my sister and I were not too damaged. All the contractors who lived in the house suffered significant financial losses. And sometimes when I go to the supermarket around the house, people said, since the first time the house was built, it was unreasonable. Eventually, my sister and I moved from that house.